Hello everyone, greetings from PayTabs technical support team. In this series, you will learn how to integrate with PayTabs through our PT2 API endpoints. Throughout the series, we will walk you through the second integration type, which is the invoices. And for the purpose of this series, we have created a very simple Laravel project to walk you through the integration process. But feel free to follow the steps in this series with your own project, whatever the programming language or the frameworks used to integrate with PayTabs. So, let's get started. In this video, we are going to move to the next part of our token-based transaction, which is initiating a recurring payment. So, let's get started. The first thing you should know is that you can find the full documentation for this step inside PayTabs support portal under the article called the Invoices APIs Integration Manual. Now inside step 3 over here and inside the token based section, you will see that in the last video or the previous video we have created the token and we have learned how we can create it, and now we want to use this token to initiate a recurring payment. This is simply done by a new transaction class that is called the recurring transaction class, and by passing the token and the transaction reference that we have just initiated in the previous video. So let's redo this again. We are going, first thing, you need to initiate a normal payment and you need to pass the parameter tokenize to it. So I'm going to pass the payment again to see how we can create the token, like that. I'm going to finish the payment, fill it out like this, use my test card, I'll pay it. Now I will have a token created that I can receive both inside my return response or inside my callback response over here. And now I will use this token and this transaction reference to initiate a recurring payment. In order to do so, inside our code we have created a new payload for the recurring that looks like this. All what it needs the token that we have just generated, the transaction reference. I'm going to pass a callback to receive the transaction, and here we are going to change the transaction class to be recurring. Now, remember that you can either, what I did here is that I either created the transaction class over here, or I can actually move it and change it inside my configuration file over here. But I will just leave this over there, and I will just edit my recurring payload over here. And now what we need to do is to pass this token and the transaction reference. So I'm going to take the transaction reference over here from the callback. Let's paste it. And I'm also going to take the generated token and let's paste it. And now we have the recurring payload ready. Of course, you can deduct the amount that can be specified in the cart ID, and of course you need to fulfill the cart currency amount and description. So what I have created, actually to test this out, I have created a static payment base that only contained the details of the payment. It can't be changed. For example, it's a static amount, static details. All what I'm going to do over here to see that I'm just going to initiate this payload and see what happens. Once I click on the payment to initiate the payload, you will see that the customer were not asked to receive or pay any payment or enter his card details. The amount was deducted directly from him, a new transaction was created, and we can see inside our callback over here that this transaction has a type of capture and oath. As you can see, the transaction class capture and oath, and the capture and oath is the same as the recurring transaction class. And remember that recurring is not enabled by default inside your PayTabs profile. You need to contact customer care to enable it for you. Now, this is a symbol of the recurring payment. You can use this idea to generate any model or any business need that you need by applying all the details that we have just clarified, and we can now move to the next part.